important segment. This man's going to put 30 yards extra in your golf game, from what I understand. Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. Pannozzo? Specializer in sports medicine.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what makes you the guru of tennis and golf.
Well, the reason I came to Florida in the first place, about 6 years ago now, was to work out the golf swing, the physiology of the golf swing, the medical part. It's never been done. And so I met Bob Tosky and worked with him. I followed him around and found out what he needed his students to do. And then I put it back into my background of pain-causing structures. So when he would tell a player to do this, I knew how that would be accomplished on a medical basis. And that's what's missing in golf instruction today. The instructors don't understand the medical part of that. So there's two parts of the golf swing. One is the medical part. The other one is how do you play the game? The art of golf, I call it. So we never want to change the golf swing. The golf swing should be natural. It's like a 12-year-old. You ever watch a 12-year-old? They swing beautifully. And that's what we need everybody to do. It's a natural swing. So when you have a pain somewhere in the sequence of events, which is pulling that club head around, then we know where that pain would be. So we could take that pain out right away, and then the golf swing goes to normal. It works just that way, and
same thing with the tennis.
No, same thing with the tennis. It's still the same swing. Same thing with baseball.
It's interesting. Nolan Ryan, they juiced him up with all these lights and gizmos to see the perfect machine on how to pitch. So I guess what you're describing is very similar.
We do it on a clinical basis, though. They're doing it as a study, but we do it on a day-to-day basis. I mean, if you come in my office, we would analyze your swing, tell you why it's limited, treat that area, and in 10 minutes you go back and swing normal. And we have it we tape like that, before and after treatment. And it's only about 10 minutes, and then you can see there's a palpable difference. You can actually see the difference in the swing.
So you're actually not only amateurs, you're doing a lot of pros?
We do anybody who comes by, it's all the same.
And it's about, if there's a pain, something hindering your game, tennis elbow, or is it just about your mechanics because you don't realize that there's something wrong with you?
Well, you'll know that. I mean, actually, you do know it. The problem is you might not want to do anything about it. It's either money, time, interest, those kind of things. But talking about tennis elbow, is we worked out the physiology of that, so that we can bring that tennis elbow to normal in a matter of minutes. So, for instance, if you couldn't open your elbow like that,
right?
There's a reason for that. We know what that is. We use a machinery fluoroscope to find the problem with that. Of course, we know what the problem is. Fluoroscope just gives me direction, so I don't miss it because it looks right through the bone. And then we can bring that elbow right down like that.
So it's about removing the pain so that you can perform better.
That's exactly right. The pain inhibits motion. And that's what you get when you limp. That's what you get when your swing goes out here and out there and the ball doesn't go in the right spot. It's because while you're working it through, a pain will make you make the swing, which should be nice parabolic,
right,
will now be like that.
Well, it's funny because the Knicks could have used your help because, Carmelo Anthony has a bad shoulder and they can't fix it, and they recommend a rest, and he can't rest in the playoffs, and his shot was horrible.
Well, if he would come and see me in 2 days, he'd be back on there.
Very important part of what you do. Is it all physical, or is there some mental aspect that goes with your game?
No, it's not mental at all. It's all physical. It's all based on normal things that a physician does. Take a history, do a clinical exam, physical exam, take an x-ray, and do a treatment. It's just like that. And what we do, really no one else does, because in order to do what I do, we had to start with the physiology of motion. What is a structure, how is it made, and what it's supposed to do? a shoulder does certain things. So if you can, the way it's designed to work, same thing with the elbow, it only does certain things. So you examine it on that basis, and then find out what's lacking, and then reverse that process, and you get a normal joint out of it.
So then you have to make sure that you put people through their motions to see how they look, and you can see. Is there a machine, or can you witness this with your years of experience?
All right here.
Really? So you can. It's funny because I used to coach baseball, and I could tell you a good swing from a bad swing.
There you go.
And everybody used to say to me, "How do you do that?" And I guess you have enough experience doing these things.
Yeah. Well, you didn't ask how many patients we've seen, but we've seen over 65,000 people.
Wow.
Not treatments, but people. And this is 45 years now.
And you've been doing the same thing
Yep,
for 45? Wow.
45 years.
Real quick, in the field of this type of medicine, has there been new updated information in the last 2 years, let's say, that you're doing differently from other doctors?
What I do, no one else does, because it's based on the physiology of weight bearing. It's a physics problem. That's how we approach it.
Gotcha.
Everybody's approaching it as a medical problem with an MRI. Rest, heat, light, all that. None of that works.
Right, right. And if somebody wanted to come out and see you, where do we find you?
We're in Delray Beach on Military Trail in the medical area there, and the number is 561-381-5800.
Excellent. You're at 16244 Military Trail?
Yes.
Suite 740 in Delray Beach.
That's it.
And it's the website is www.paincentersnationwide.com.
Yeah, we're on. They can Google my name too. It's all over the place over there.
Your last name or your whole thing?
My last name.
Pannozzo.
That's it.
Excellent. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 561-381-5800 is the phone number, correct?
That's it.
You got to go and see this doctor to improve your golf game. I heard through Les that you improve golf games 30, 40 yards?
Yes.
That's an unbelievable number.
It's true. It's true.
And I heard also
now,
that
we don't say we're going to do it for everybody. We say up to. I mean, let's get realistic here. Depends on what the loss is, of course. I mean,
it depends on if they came to see you within nick of time, actually. Yeah.
In a day or two. Yeah.
Interesting. And real quick, we got 2 minutes left. What's the most interesting story that you've had in your 45 years? The one thing that stands out in your mind?
Well,
somebody that you helped that everybody gave up on.
Well, we just took a lady that had a headache for 7 years every day, and now it's hard to believe. And I kept saying, "You mean every day? Every day?" She said, "Yes, every day." So we just took the last bit of her headache out, which was at the top of the skull. You see, normally headache is a symptom. It's a pain from somewhere, but we have located where it's from, so we treat it directly, and we put a little shot in there, and that headache with sleeves like that.
Really?
That is true. I mean, I'm not making anything
Just
up.
a testimonial.
Yeah.
See that? You get a headache, we know what to do with you. Anthony Pannozzo, thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
I appreciate the information. Listen, go see this guy and let him know that Freddy Fixit sent you. Or you can use Freddy Jr. too. He doesn't mind. Good stuff. I understand he comes from some high sources that he has helped him. So give him a call. Again, his number is 561-381-5800.